Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening Show. And on this Cricket Happening Show, it's the 49th match which was played today in the Indian Premier League between the rising Pune Super Giants and they were taking on uh, the the Delhi Daredevils. And rising Pune Super Giants, well, they had nothing to lose because they had already been out of the IPL. But Delhi Daredevils were the ones who had to actually improve their chances by getting a victory. But well, that didn't happen. In fact, it was Rising Pune Super Giants who won the match. Well, it was not. It was definitely by the Duck with Lewis method. But one has to say at Vishakhapatnam today, the Delhi Daredevils, who normally has a good strong batting lineup, they have been pretty consistent too. The bowling has been good too. But today, as far as their batting is concerned, totally let them down. And the Delhi Daredevils were really restricted. They were throttled, one could say, by the spinners, the pace bowlers initially, then by the spinners. And Delhi Daredevils were kept to just 121 for 6 of their 20 overs. And that was definitely not a good score under the circumstances. So let's have a look at what really happened. So Rising Pune Super Giants, Dhoni winning the toss and deciding that Delhi Daredevils would be batting first here at Vishakhapatnam. So, well, the start, normally one knows that Shreyas Iyer, who actually failed, who has been having a miserable time in the IPL, and he was not being played. I mean, he was not playing in a lot of matches, and now suddenly Shreyas Iyer was inducted back as an opener, and he opened with Quinton de Kock, and now it was not once again I would say that Shreyas Iyer didn't get it right here. So it all started with Ashok Dinda actually giving them the very quick breakthrough in the third over when both Ashok Dinda and D. Chahal were actually bowling in the right areas and keeping both Quinton de Kock and Shreyas Iyer really quiet. But then Dinda came in and with one of his deliveries, he trapped Quinton de Kock LBW for 2 of 8 balls. That was wicket number 1, 4 for 1 in the third over, Delhi Daredevils. Shreyas Iyer was in the middle, as joined by Karun Nair. Shreyas Iyer, well, he definitely didn't seem confident at all. In fact, he fell a victim to Dinda as Dinda forced him to play a stroke which he played into the hands of Khwaja. He was gone for 8 of 10 balls with 1-4. So that made it 25 for 2. And Shreyas Iyer, I have to tell you that of all the early promise that he showed before the IPL in the Indian domestic tourneys, well, unfortunately, that has not really been carried forward by Shreyas Iyer. Now, as far as, and after that, we saw Karun Nair at the crease, joined in by Sanju Samson. Now, first it was the turn of Dinda to really rattle the Delhi Daredevils by sending both the openers for just 25 runs in the 5th over. But after the power play, now it was the turn of the spinner, and now it was in the hands of the leggy Adam Zampa. Adam Zampa started it all, first getting Sanju Samson stumped by Dhoni behind the sticks for 10 of 13 deliveries. So that made it 49 for 3. And then their big hitter, the young big hitter, Rishabh Pant, followed him to the pavilion as he tried a big hike of the bowling of Zampa. Ended up in the hands of Pereira. He was gone for 4, which made it 62 for 4. And then Karun Nair was the only one who was offering brief resistance. But even his wicket was picked up by Zampa. Zampa picked up 3 wickets there. And to reduce the Delhi Daredevils, and he picked up Karun Nair by getting him LBW for 41 or 43 deliveries, 5 fours, which made it 70 for 5 in the 15th over. And now Delhi Daredevils were in deep trouble. Dumini was the next victim, out to the bowling of Dinda for 40 and as many balls with 1-4. But it took Chris Morris to come out, and in the last over, he took 22 runs off a single over. I think it was of the bowling of Cesar Pereira. He took him for 22 runs after Cesar Pereira's bowled well initially, but Chris Morris in the last over gave a bit of something to bowl at by slamming an unbeatable 138 of 20 balls, 4 fours and 2 sixes. The much needed injection was given by Chris Morris as the Delhi Daredevils, by saving face, at least managed, as I said, they had something to defend, which was 121 for 6. And as I said, Nathan Coulter was not out on 2. And one has to say that full credit to the Delhi Daredevils bowlers and to the rising Pune Super Giants bowlers. But Delhi Daredevils were the ones who had to be really been sharp. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Let's have bowling. Ashok Dindao did the damage in the front here. 4 overs, 120 runs and 3 wickets, sending both the openers packing pretty early. Chahar none for 13 of 2. Tisra Pereira had his bowling analysis damaged by Chris Morris in the final over. 3 overs, 27. Irfan Pathan 3 overs, no maiden. None for 17. Adam Zampa was superb. 4 overs, 3 for 21. First Dinda did the job, then Zampa came in and started making holes into the Delhi Daredevils batting lineup. Ashwin 4 overs, none for 23. Now 121 for 6 was a total which rising Pune Super Giants had to get 122 runs. But then finally they were, because of the rain which was falling there at Visakhapatnam, it was decided that rising Pune Super Giants will only need, their target is only 58 runs from 11 overs. But from the 11 overs, as I said, it all happened in between, and then finally it was decided that finally the Duckworth Lewis decided that they needed only 58 runs to win. But at that stage, rising Pune Super Giants was way ahead at 76 for 1. And Usman Khwaja, well, he played a very quick innings by hitting boundaries of the bowling of Zahir Khan and Nathan Coulter when he picked up 19 runs of just 13 deliveries with 4 fours. But Ajinkya Rahane Ajinkya Rahane also did some very good. He was very sharp in the field today. We know Ajinkya Rahane is a very athletic fielder, and yes, he was definitely very sharp in the field today. Now, so Ajinkya Rahane was there, and Khwaja was the first victim of the bowling of Morris. Bailey, well, he had one ball from Nathan Coulter really climbing onto him, and Bailey trying to hook it, had his helmet removed. As the helmet started with pieces, it flew over the square leg, and in fact Bailey and his Australian teammate Nathan Coulter had a hearty laugh there, because Bailey's helmet was absolutely, I would say, uncorked from the position and pushed away. And well, Ajinkya Rahane, well, he continued to play his strokes as he normally does. And when the Duckworth Lewis was decided, the rising Pune Super Giants were well ahead at 76 for 1 of 11 overs. They needed only 58, and they had won the match by the Duckworth Lewis method. Rahane was not out 42 of 36 balls, 5 fours, 1 6. Bailey not out an 8 of 18 balls with 1 4. Now, as far as the bowling was concerned, Zahir Khan came in for some tap at the hands of Usman Khwaja today. 3 overs, none for 19. Also Ajinkya Rahane. Coulter none for 21. Morris 2 overs, 1 for 12. Mishra Ball 2 overs for 10. And Mohammad Shami 1 over for 12. And Ashok Dindao of the rising Pune Super Giants took the Man of the Match award. Well, dear fans, for subscribers, today it's a very short cricket broadcast. Nothing really to talk here. And on this note, it's about time for me. We all know that we are all waiting the coming week. We are going to see the Test series starting between England and Sri Lanka, and we know that this Sri Lankan side is on a learning curve right now. So definitely one could probably say that England are definitely the favorites. But all in all, it would be a sort of a real learning experience for these players. Last time one remembers that it was a tough series where Sri Lanka did pretty well. They were absolutely they were absolutely at level with England, and those were the times, as you remember. But now it is a different kettle of fish altogether. Sri Lanka are definitely learning right now. They have a lot of youngsters in the mix, and it should be a sort of a real learning curve for them. But well, dear fans and subscribers, I don't have. I just there's one news that I can share is that tomorrow the game which is coming up is the RCB. So RCB, as you know, they are the ones who have been making waves in this Indian Premier League. Even though they are not in the top position, they are still trying to get um, into the top four. So as we know, and Royal Challengers Bangalore, as you know, all the eyes will be on the top three. If that top three fires, I think no opposition would be a match for the Royal Challengers Bangalore. And tomorrow they take on the Kings 11 Punjab, who are already crippled, I would say, because Maxwell has gone back because of injury. Marcus Stoinis is the latest person who has actually left from the team for whatever reason. So definitely all eyes will be on RCB. So one would fancy that RCB will take this match against Kings 11 Punjab. And the other news is that the Andre Russell, a very useful cricketer who plays for the KKR, is unfortunately out in the game against the Gujarat Lions, and that is not good news at all with Andre Russell being out. Well, that's it, dear fans and subscribers. That really puts a wrap on this Cricket Happening show of mine today. I know it's been a very short cricket broadcast, but nevertheless, that's what I could bring to the table today. Thanks for your company and thanks for your cooperation, dear fans and subscribers. Your next cricket broadcast will be there tomorrow.